Welcome back to another edition of JD's Top 8 here on JD's YouTube. Yes, I haven't done a Top 8 in a long time. How you doing on this quarantine Friday? This month, I'm gonna do Top 8 on Thursday. I just had stuff going on yesterday. Toothache. Wasn't really feeling it, so I moved it to Friday. But the Top 8s are gonna be Power Ranger related. I've done Power Ranger before, but this one's gonna be a little different. Today are the top 8 bad guys. To me, in order of like design, um, and uh, power and how they fit in the story. So without further ado, let's jump in. We're gonna start at number 8 with Astronema. Um, she was the bad guy for Power Rangers in Space. I digged Power Rangers in Space. It was really cool. Um, she was really cool. She's a complex character. She is the sister of the Red Space Ranger. Uh, there's a whole story arc with trying to get her back. At first, he's trying to find her. He doesn't realize that's who she is. Then eventually, he does realize who she is, and she just has a great story arc. I really like her. Number 7, it's Finster. Finster is Rita's henchman who makes the monsters. Without Finster, there would be no monsters. I think he's a very underrated, powerful uh, bad guy. He gets a big push, as you would say in the wrestling world. In the Shattered Grid storyline, he is the one who helps Tommy become Lord Draken. He helps Tommy keep the powers and take over all the other power coins. And then 6, we got Rito. He is the brother of Rita. He is his design is freaking awesome. He is a skeleton who is like half camouflaged and wearing a military helmet. He was a favorite of mine because one of my favorite horror movies is House. And in there, one of the ghosts, the bad guys, is the skeleton military. Nah. So House is a guy who is a writer who moves in the house. He was in the war. The house is haunted. It's got like a portal in it. It sucks his buddy back from the war who had died. He ends up being the skeleton zombie type thing. So he reminded me of that. And it was a really big connection for me. And I absolutely loved it. Loved his design. He was kind of a little whiner at times. Other times he was super badass. Number 5 is the Power Ranger Slayer. She is in the Shattered Grid comic books. They need to adapt that into a movie or its own series. That would be fantastic. She is Kimberly for in an alternate timeline. I put her on here because her suit is still pink, but it's pink and black, and her bow she becomes super badass. Um, and the design of the costume is one of the coolest Power Ranger designs I've seen. And she has a story arc, standing by Tommy's side. Then realizes, what he's doing. She tries to get away from him. It's compelling. I would go read the Shattered Grid. It's pretty good. 4 is a group. It is the Psycho Rangers. The Psycho Rangers, fantastic, man. They've popped up here and there throughout Power Rangers history. They are fantastic. They're a group of psychotic Power Rangers. Their color schemes are the colors plus black. I'm really heavy into mixing colors with black. My favorite, I own them, is the blue and black one. I'm going to get there's a 2-pack. It's got I think it's Lost Galaxy, Red Ranger, and the Red Psycho Ranger. So those guys are fantastic. I love their weapons. I love their costume design, and they're nuts. 3 is Goldar. Not from the movie. That was awful. It was a wasted. But the original Goldar from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, I absolutely loved him. I loved him when he grew. Um, he was just an evil dude with an awesome design. He had wings. Um, and he dressed in gold armor. It was awesome. I loved it. I loved his fights. Number 2 is Lord Zed. Big Freddy Krueger fan. Lord Zed, for being a kids show, is horrifying. He is all muscle, like no skin. Skin is peeled off with like this skeleton metal skeleton on the outside. He is super powerful. Fun fact: my buddy had gotten on the bus. I think it was like the 3rd grade, and he's like, "Man, Power Ranger wedding, Power Ranger wedding." He showed me this article. He's like, "There's going to be a Power Ranger wedding," and we got excited because Tommy and Kimberly. We thought it was Tommy and Kimberly. Because to me, there was 2 couples on TV: Tommy, Kimberly, and Zach and Kelly. But it wasn't. It was Rita's and Lord Zed's. Rita had drugged him and then married him. He was just a ruthless villain. He had the Power Rangers he destroyed the command center. They had to regroup. They had to boost up their power. And coming at number 1 should be no surprise. I am a huge fan. Number 1 is Lord Drakkon. This is from the Shattered Grid story. It is an alternative Tommy who stays the Green Ranger, stays evil. Eventually he kills Rita, and he gets his hand on the white power coin. And he fuses the 2. Since the 2 of them came out, the green and then the white, and them both being Tommy, I've always fantasized about putting the 2 together. Like, as a kid, it's one of those things. Like waiting as a kid forever for Jason versus Freddy, and then finally it comes out. It was kind of like that. Like I kept picturing it, trying to morph the 2. And it's a fantastic storyline. He runs through timelines and universes, getting Ranger coins, and he has the Black Dragon Zord, which is a sick Dragon Zord, which eventually the Yellow Ranger ends up using as armor. Yeah, go check the story. It's a fantastic story. And they had a kind of mini movie trailer. Jason David Frank played Drakkon in this trailer, and I about lost it. I love Tommy. Out of all these, I own a Psycho Ranger. I'm gonna get the Power Ranger Slayer eventually. It's on pre-order right now. I do own Goldar, and I do own Lord Zed, and I do own Lord Drakkon. So what I own is Lord Zed, Jason the Red Ranger with Tommy's shield, so it came with the Dragon Dagger. But I have the 2 of them, and then I have Lord Drakkon with 2 Dragon Daggers. He is against the White Ranger in Saba. And then I have Goldar taking on the SPD. Oh crap! Now I can't remember his name. It's the dog. And then I have Psycho Blue versus the Green Ranger. So those are ones I have right now. I have 3 versions of Tommy. I don't know about Zeo. I wasn't really a fan, but we have what? Zeo Turbo. Dino Thunder. The black one. I don't know if they're gonna make a ninja one, or if they're gonna redo the one from the movie where you got the Falcon instead of we got upgraded to the Falcon and didn't use the Tiger anymore. However, I'm getting off and changing. With that being said, much love, JD out.